And so someone using my content for selfish reasons and using it to use the God energy that came through me to bind people to them for their benefit, and these people are imbalanced, and then whatever negative energies, entities, or whatever, they actually infest everybody else. It's like they spread imbalance. They infest everyone, which is doing the opposite of my path and my purpose. So I always incorporate that to make sure my intentions are stronger and I get assistance. But I never ever do it in a selfish, mean way. And like, will program your energy, and like more visualization, that helps too, because you invest your time seeing what you choose, like these people to leave you alone. And for me, I leave it up to the person. Well, not a specific person. You have to have it generalized. That's another important thing. You cannot focus on one person. You thinking about them takes you to their house. You have to stay in your house. So your protections, your intentions, you focus on you. So you just generalize it. Anybody who invades my space, tries to harm my family, or has negative intentions, energy harvest, then you name the rules for your existence, for people to participate in your reality. You name the rules and you name the consequences. And we can talk to each other energetically, subconsciously. Our higher selves can communicate with each other. So you can embed in your energy, you come, invade my space, trying to cause harm to me and my family. This is what's going to happen to you. You're allowing this happening to you by invading my space. And you're allowed to do that. They're doing it when you think about them, when they keep you focused on them instead of focused on yourself, while they're squatting on the edge of your energy. In the same way they manipulate you, mind control you, use you to manifest certain negative things for yourself. And you believe certain things for them, you manifest it for them. You can use it both ways. You can have it if they come and impose their will onto you. Like for me, I'm like, ask the universe's assistance, all the negative energy, negative intentions, negative thoughts to cause harm, the energy harvesting, that just all the energy goes back to them and it blocks, banishes, and it binds them. That it's up to them. I'm not enforcing, I'm not pushing, I'm not going over there. They come over here, that's the rules. There's no injustice in my reality. You're not imposing your shit on someone. You're not stealing from someone. There has to be equal exchange of energies, and you have to get permission. You can't cause harm. You can't cause imbalance. You can't be selfish. You do that, there's rules. And you can state that. And they're giving you permission by coming into your energy field trying to manipulate you. So for me, they decide it. The more shit they do, the more they have to deal with my rules. And that's universal law anyways. I'm just not tolerating it anymore because I'm on my path and my purpose. And I'm fine with it. I'm happy to share my gifts. I'm happy to share my knowledge, my downloads. I enjoy uplifting people since I feel people. Like this last 2 days, and I knew the HIV message. I didn't want to talk about it because that shit is scary. And it's very personal. But then to a crazy group of people, starting with one crazy-ass female because she wanted to be taken care of and didn't want people to find out and isolate her, I'm just going to give it to everybody. I don't care who it is. That's crazy. 2 children. To me, I was like, yeah, they overstepped their boundaries. I have to say something. So I sat there for 2 months knowing about it, and it was like eating me up. And I'm like, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm mistaken about this message. Maybe I'm mistaken. But there was one final message where I knew, yeah, no, I'm not mistaken. So I was like, I have to say something. I don't say anything. I'm like everybody else, like the same shit that happened to me. Everybody knew what was going on. And actually, there was a large community of people meeting up. Like right now, from what I understand, there's like 20 something of them that meet up together and choose to do candle magic, certain black magic, all the moon cycles, doing spells. And they were doing it on me, my mom, my animals, my family, and having like a party. And watching me to see how well it worked, like they were doing a fucking science project. And enjoying it while watching my mom suffer. And they knew what they were doing. They knew my mom was going to die, and they were watching, they were excited, and they were thrilled it worked. You know how disgusting that is? So I was like, I wasn't going to be that person when I knew. And they were doing that to children. Taking a child's future away because some fucking psycho wanted to be taken care of and still wanted to have people to have sex with, and we could be all buddy-buddy with HIV and just spread it everywhere. I was like, I'm not, then I'll be just as bad as everybody else that knew what was going on. And then I knew a lot of people were like, they didn't believe it. Especially the ones that actually thought they had long COVID. That they were like, yeah, that's a great cover-up. We'll just say we all have long COVID, and while they're spreading it to everybody. And all these people that would have, it was just sad. I was sad because there was a lot of people that actually discovered that I was correct. And then to know that people you trusted did that to you out of selfishness, or did that to your children, tried to kill you because they didn't want to take care of themselves. They wanted to do whatever the fuck they wanted. To realize they were with a sociopath or a psychopath. That's a psychopath. They're willing to kill people. When you trusted them. And they probably acted like they were the most nicest, loving, and trustworthy people. And they were just trying to just infect as many people as possible because it was the perfect opportunity with COVID. It was a great cover-up why people were being sick, had problems with their immune system. It seemed like they almost had a bad flu when it was HIV that blown to AIDS because they didn't know. And a lot of them were doing magic, which was making them sicker. So I was like, all these people that found out, at least they found out. Many that found out so they could get better, get treatment. And then others that knew about it and it saved their fucking life, yo. And I knew a lot of people were heartbroken and I could feel it. It just made me feel down. Made me feel down I had to say it. Made me feel down that some motherfuckers that fucking killed my mom were actually... And like I say, those people, they care about nobody but themselves, not even their own children. And they're so good at lying and making you like them and believe them and like word salad and flipping things around while they're the victimizer, acting like they're the victim in their weird, distorted psychology. And some of them run around like they're the most innocent thing, and while they're fucking, when you're not looking, they're fucking doing black magic and cursing you and all kinds of shit. giving you HIV, your children HIV. And it's like, we could be a community with HIV. We don't know who gave it to us. When it was, and then the fact a small group, when they finally realized they had it, joined in with the crazy bitch. I could feel it. I still feel it. And then my internet, right afterwards, oh my God. Some of my shit wouldn't load up. It would freeze. The videos would just like kept on freezing and buffering. I was like, wow, really? You're the one that did the shitty shit? You want to get revenge on me? And I was like, you know what? It was worth it. You can go fuck yourself. You can go fuck yourself. You're mad at me because I helped save some people, help them get more years of their life, or save their life totally. Just so you could do whatever the demonic ass shit you want to do. I was like, you know what? If I save one person's life or gave someone like 5 years, I don't give a fuck if you trash my internet. I was like, fuck you. And I was like, that's how you burn up karma. You give people life. You make them fucking smile. You give them a compliment without expecting shit back. And then I was like, you know what? All those attempts on my life, all my fucking 9 lives or how many I fucking have, that I should already been dead, all kinds of crazy shit like my water heater exploding, trying to explode a huge boom in my house, but it didn't explode. It just messed up the internals. For a water heater that was only a couple years old, that I had replaced the other water heater because my pressure regulator cracked the glass inside. And then when I had checked my water heater, the vent, the chute on top, because it wasn't the perfect size, I wasn't good at assembly. I didn't have everything like screwed, but the metal was all bented and like it was like perfectly in there. It was impossible. Someone had to have like went in there and like disassembled. That shit was all scattered. So me and my mom, God knows how long, we were just sitting there with carbon monoxide. We could have died from carbon monoxide poisoning. That didn't happen. Like all kinds of weird shit. And the fucking spider that went down my throat, and it started swelling up, but it wasn't the right spot so I can breathe. But I could tell where I was swallowing, it was swollen for like 2 weeks. So I was like, yeah, motherfuckers, I got some lives back just from helping other people and saving their life from your fucking psychotic ass. But I could feel the sadness. I could tell how right I was. Because whoever the fuck the people were trashing my electronics. Still are, still. But I was like, even if I can't stream, I was like, I don't give a fuck. Because just me being positive in my energy, I'm still doing the job. I'm on my path, my purpose. You're just making it easier for me. I don't have to stream, but you're getting karma trashing my shit. Like messing with my phone and the fucking app's all weird. And I don't know, maybe I need a laptop since I can't check the settings on Twitch if it just changed or something. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I didn't want to stream because I just wanted to cry. I just kept digging and building. But I was like, yeah. I was like, it was worth it. I don't care if they trashed my internet for years. It was worth it. Motherfuckers. And I hope they fucking go to jail for that shit. I hope they get shunned. I hope everybody sees how sick these people are. And the stuff that I'm saying is for reals. They don't fucking give a fuck about nobody. And that it wasn't a mistake. Especially the main bitch. She knew she had it. She knew she had it for a while. She already had symptoms. Running around claiming that she had cancer or some fucking illness for sympathy. And they made a plan. Let me get a rich guy. Let me have a fucking baby. Trap his ass and then let me spread it to everybody. Claiming it's love and freedom. And then COVID was a perfect chance to make it look like everybody just had long COVID. She was a scandalous hoe, and then people that already knew they got diagnosed, they all kept it a secret. Like, joined her team. I felt a lot of sadness. But yeah, that's why it's important to forgive. Because when you focus on that person, it's almost like that person's cooties, when you go into their energy field because you're focusing on them, you actually pick up their cooties because you're entering their auric cloud. And that's another reason why you end up giving yourself bad luck. While that person's having a good old time, some oblivious, you're still angry, want revenge, you still think about them, talk about them while they're living their life. So the forgiveness is for you. You just contaminate yourself with their shit going to their house, invading their energy field. So when you do your intentions to protect yourself, you do not make it about a specific person. You generalize it and you avoid focusing on them. And it helps the more time you invest into this intention, like fantasizing, seeing what you intend, like your them being blocked, them being frustrated because they can't access you, them being frustrated they can't read you, them like you can visualize seeing them like nothing working. They're squatting in your energy, so you're programming them for this manifestation that nothing's working. They're not causing you harm. You can see them, like, make it detailed. Have a good time with it. Like it's a fucking movie and play that shit over and over and over and over again. You're programming your energy for it to be real and you're programming them for it to be real. You're like mind controlling them. But don't do it in a shitty way. The shit they've been doing to you, you don't like it. Don't fucking do it to them and you don't want fucking karma for it. So the more time you invest in the energy of it, the stronger it is. Don't make it about a specific person. I'm just reading it. Like I had random thoughts. Well, like pieces of downloads. Like, one of the signs, I've mentioned it before, one of the signs of actually being divine, a royal divine, especially a royal divine, like I said, because we've already done the work on ourselves, we love ourselves. We exude a love energy, a positive energy. And since we do that, we draw in more God energy, and God energy is love. And other people feel it. And it makes them almost feel like they're in love with you, or you're in love with them, and it makes them feel in love with you when it's just the energy they're supposed to already feel for themselves. And once they feel for themselves, it draws more of that energy from source, and you can use it to manifest. have good luck happen in your life. And a lot of people feel this, and they're like, they can't stop thinking about you. But like I said, we're designed that way. And it's almost, I know it sounds crazy, when you run into someone like my kind, the energy's so intense, it's almost like we mark your consciousness with God energy. But it's our face, though. But we represent God. So it's almost like having the mark of God in your third eye on your forehead. It's not magic, but it's the energy of God to keep you focused and thinking. And then when you realize what it is, that's what it feels like to love yourself. It's not magic. But the thing, like, for someone who's like me, I've learned that energy is so intense. It is dangerous for me to even, just me not even wanting to put the energy on people. If that person's unbalanced, it makes them act even crazier. It makes them act obsessive. So for me, in my environment, it's dangerous for me to even have intentions of liking anyone in that way. So I don't do that. I don't fantasize. I don't. I just have everybody on the same level. I care about everybody. I wish the best for everybody, and I'm nice to everybody. Me having that intention makes that person act fucking batshit crazy. And the more imbalanced they are, they'll, like I said, get to the point where they want to fucking kill me. If they can't have me, no one can have me. That's happened over and over and over again. And throughout the years, that behavior got worse each year. The more I realized what I was, who I was, the more I loved myself. I didn't know that energy was getting stronger, and like people getting really attached to me with not flirting, no nothing. All of a sudden, they just were like in love with me. They wanted to be with me. They were like, yeah, you're the perfect person for me. We should work together, and on it, even without me doing anything, not giving them any reason. And it used to be like 2 or 3 weeks, they'll start doing that. Just like even in gaming, just gaming, not even hanging out in real life. And then it got to the point where like I couldn't hang out with anybody. Because then they would hate me afterwards because I didn't have that feeling for them. When I was just being nice. And then it would make females hate me. Then I would game with someone, total strangers. After 3 days, all of a sudden, babe, I'm like, oh my God. So I started making a rule. I would game, and if I hung out with anybody, the most I would hang out was 3 days, and I would ghost them because I already knew what was going to happen. So someone who's truly divine, especially royal, they don't need to use black magic. They don't need to use love magic. They don't need to use potions. They don't need to use blood rituals. For us, it's dangerous. That's how you know someone's divine, or if you're divine or not, or if you reach that level. You don't need any of that at all. You just draw people towards you like that for no reason. And then people start thinking you're doing magic, or they start thinking, like the littlest things you do, they think that you're trying to get someone's boyfriend or husband, or just from being nice. For my kind, it's dangerous to even have any intentions. And then plus, when you do that to someone, it's almost like putting a spell on them. It doesn't last forever. And then you find out, because you want them and you don't really know them, then you get to know them and they're obsessed over it. And then you realize that's not your person, that's not your type. You're fucked. And then if you intentionally know what you're doing, that's karma. Because you didn't get to know that person and then you just impose your magical will on them, that's karma. Because you're going to have to dump them. You're going to have to leave them. You're going to have to break their heart while they're fucking cuckoo crazy like a crackhead on magic. Someone who's not divine and has to do all that, you can tell they're not divine. If you need to use all that, you are not divine. Because God designed you to draw people in so they can know what it feels like to love themselves and to know what it feels like when God loves you. It's like crack. Why would you not want to sit there and love yourself and get more of that? It's an amazing feeling. You're high all the time. You're confident. You don't feel alone. You're like, God got me. Shit. Because you can feel it. You're not lonely. Feels amazing. Then when good things happen, you're like, God gave that to, and it makes you cry. You get emotional for the tiniest thing. Because you knew God helped you or nudged you or your spirit guides that God sent, and you realize you've never ever been alone. And when something like you thought negative happened, it was to bring you back in balance. Say like you got a flat tire. Well, that flat tire might have saved you from getting into something more severe. Or running into someone that you shouldn't have run into that would have ruined your life. The tiniest things. None of it's a punishment. It's to put everything back in balance and get your fucking attention. But yeah, an actual divine person doesn't need any of that. It's actually dangerous. And then that God energy, those with cursed lineages get severely triggered and obsessed. Like I already know the way people respond to me, like immediately, is a litmus test to the level of imbalance they have within them. The more imbalanced they are, the more severe their behavior is. It's either they're like in love with me from the get-go, or they want to fucking murder me. The ones that are bad are the ones that fucking just hate my fucking guts. I know to stay away from them. I don't make excuses. I just stay away. I don't get mad. I just leave them. I know to stay the fuck away. Was it why thinking, talking about them, you enter their auric cloud, be where you're not supposed to be. They want you focused on them. Focus on general. Yeah, if focus on the general, not on a specific person. Basically, you're the coder. You're the designer of your reality, your energy program, your rules. Stated in the beginning, do not do this, do not impose your will, do not cause harm. Make it for the greater good, not just for you. Make it for the greater good, which will always include you, and the universe will help you. You get on the good side of the universe. You become favored, but don't fuck up. It's hard to get back. When you don't focus on them. Change the generalizes to not him or her. Your cloud, energy field, ozone layer, like the sun, the ozone layer. They weaken it when you get weakened. Allows harmful things in. Everything affects everything. Their auric cloud plus their intentions. And it's, for me, they told me it was better for me to not know this whole time who they were. They thought they got away with like no evidence specifically towards me by keeping me isolated, no one talking to me. They actually didn't realize it worked against them. It kept me safe to not know who they are. so I wouldn't have obsessed over them, and it would have kept me in their house. So like shit like that, like not knowing who it is, when you know how the magic works, it benefits you. Keep it generalized, not going to someone's or cloud space that their space is infested anyways, their energy. It's a protection for you to not know. While they thought they were getting away with shit, they got played. Oh. This goes with the, almost like what I described as the timeline jumping, where I will be talking or writing something, and whatever's on TV, like I'm not even paying attention, like random videos. Right when I say a word, the person on the TV will say that word. When we're not even talking about the same topic, and it'll happen like every couple of minutes or within seconds. And they were describing it as you're at the right place at the right time. And plus, you're in the right frequency, the right energy, you're at a higher frequency. And depending on who you're watching, if it's for a specific reason, like say if you're watching a tarot card reader, and that tarot card reader, you've done your homework, they match your frequency, and it's almost, they're on the same frequency, they're on the same channel, they're on the same script, they're on the same outline. Where the words and the events, they're the same words, but the story is not the same. And it's sort of like letting you know you're at the right place at the right time. They're on your channel. It's the same outline, the same words, but it's not the same story. So it's like you catch echoes. I'm like, sometimes it happens every couple of minutes. So it's like I'm saying it and they'll say it right after me. Or I'm writing it down, that word, they'll say that word. Like right after me. And even like this echo, what I call it an echo. If you were able to, like the other versions of you, like how I say everything exists, all the timelines, the other versions of you, your past, whatever, they all exist right now, but you're the one experiencing one part of it in one specific spot. So the other stories are playing at the same time. It's the same outline, the same key words, but the story is different for each one. So if you were able to see each one, like certain words would echo, even though the events were different. Sort of like, say like in the event right now for me, compared to 100,000 years ago, there's dinosaurs or wild beasts. Right now for me, it's my dog barking. But at that exact very moment, in the other version of me, they run into some wild beast roaring. It's the same timeline, but the story is different. So it's my dog, but in the other version of me, it's a dinosaur roaring. So if you were able to experience both at the same time, you would see that they coincide with each other. So like that explains some of the lead throughs I've had of hearing other sounds. Like I said one time, I thought I heard a dinosaur like roaring. I was in the yard working and I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was like a plane or something. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then the sound transmuted into my dog barking. Because I kept asking, what is that? Could you explain that? Am I going crazy? So certain like time, like the same outline plays over and over again,